During the game against the Dallas Wings, Caitlyn Clark was fouled and smacked in the face for the second time in quick succession. At this point, it appears that the opposing teams have no other option except to foul her in order to stop her. The event occurred just as Clark was about to report a turnover to the board of directors. During the moment that Clark was ready to make a layup to Dallas Wings' no, 21, Kalani Brown ran in from the side and slammed her in the face, causing her to go to the ground. During that time period, fans were concerned about Clark's performance in the fourth quarter. Nonetheless, she did what she does best and provided a monumental performance for the Fever, scoring 13 of her 35 points in the last quarter of the game. On the other hand, what she did after that was absolutely incredible. Receiving the first overall pick in the 2024 Women's National Basketball Association draft was a true lottery win for the Indiana Fever. The selection of Caitlyn Clark, a point guard who continues to dominate the Women's National Basketball Association WNBA, was a simple choice for Indiana. During the game that took place on Sunday against the Dallas Wings, Clark established yet another rookie record. The WNBA rookie single-season scoring record was broken by Caitlyn Clark, who scored 6 points and broke the record. Prior to her, Simone Augustus set the record, which remained unbroken for a period of 18 years. It is possible for Clark to increase this statistic and make it even more unbeatable than it now is. Clark will have an additional 40 minutes to add to her point total when the regular season of the Women's National Basketball Association WNBA comes to a close on Thursday with the Fever playing the Mystics. And great achievement was accomplished by Caitlyn Clark and Kelsey Mitchell, both of whom played for the Fever, when they defeated the Wings. The Fever is driven by the talents of Caitlyn Clark and Kelsey Mitchell. As a result of their victory over the Dallas Wings by a single point on Sunday, they displayed their capabilities. They became the first players in the history of the Women's National Basketball Association WNBA to score 30 or more points and make 6 or more three-pointers in the same game. With 35 points, 8 assists, and 2 rebounds, Clark led the Fever in scoring during the victory. He also led the team in rebounds. Mitchell recorded a total of 30 points and 1 assist in his game. Additionally, Aaliyah Boston gave a powerful performance in the film The Fever. A total of 15 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists were registered by her. Into the fourth quarter, the Fever held a 1-point advantage over their opponents. Despite the fact that they reacted to every Dallas touchdown, they were able to win by 1 point. On the other hand, the final score may not be entirely accurate since, as the clock ticked down, Satu Sabali made a 3-point shot from 26 feet out to bring Dallas within 1 point of the lead. A spot in the playoffs has already been secured for Indiana. Nevertheless, in order for them to keep their position as number 6, they need to gain victory over the Phoenix Mercury. Due to this victory, the Fever have moved into 2019 with 1 game still to be played. Since Phoenix has a record of 17-20 at the moment, Indiana has the opportunity to secure the 6th seed in the tournament if they win on Thursday. The possibility exists that they will be able to secure their seed if Phoenix suffers a defeat in any of their 3 most recent games against the Sky, Sparks, or Storm. During this particular game, Caitlyn Clark achieved a new career high by scoring 35 points and dishing out 8 assists, while Kelsey Mitchell contributed 30 points. They made a combined total of 12 of Indiana's 16 three-pointers, which contributed to the Fever's victory over the Dallas Wings on Sunday, which they won 101-109. Mitchell has proven to be the ideal backcourt partner for Caitlyn Clark, and the two of them have been the driving force behind the turnaround that the Indiana Fever has seen since the break for the Olympics. Through their combined efforts, they have propelled Indiana into the postseason. As was previously mentioned, the tremendous performance of the Fever's backcourt pair against the Wings was the first time in the history of the Women's National Basketball Association, WNBA, when 2 teammates scored 30 or more points and made 5 or more three-pointers in the same game. Throughout the course of this season, Clark and Mitchell have been among the most prolific scorers, but there was 1 game in which they both turned in one of their best performances of the year. Their performance was unparalleled in the history of the Women's National Basketball Association, WNBA, and it appears that the pair is already establishing a new benchmark in their cooperation. After suffering consecutive losses to the Las Vegas Aces, who are the reigning 2-time champions of the Women's National Basketball Association, WNBA, Indiana has virtually certainly guaranteed the number 6 slot in the upcoming playoffs, which will begin the following Sunday. The Connecticut Sun, who are the 3rd-seeded team in the tournament, have defeated the Fever 3 times during the regular season. If this scenario plays out, the Fever will meet the Connecticut Sun in the first round. In addition to setting a new rookie record with 329 assists, Clark has also managed to score 761 points this season, surpassing Simone Augustus's previous best of 744 points, which she achieved in 2006. After getting out to a rough start in the 2024 season, the Indiana Fever have shown remarkable resilience and have ensured their spot in the WNBA playoffs for the 2024 season. Caitlyn Clark, a guard who is just starting out, is one of the primary motivating causes for the Fever. During the Fever's loss to the Las Vegas Aces by a score of 7-8, 7-4 on Friday, Clark recorded the most assists in a single season in the history of the Women's National Basketball Association, WNBA. Thus, Clark has aroused the curiosity of Chris Paul, a point guard for the San Antonio Spurs who is a veteran of the National Basketball Association. When Paul wanted to express his gratitude to Clark for her remarkable achievement, he used his imagination. We are of assistance. Congratulations to Caitlyn Clark, who is 22 years old and broke the record for the most assists in a single season in the WNBA at State Farm, Paul wrote on X. When a seasoned professional player like Chris Paul makes comments about Caitlyn Clark, it must be an honor for her to get those compliments. The statistics for Clark through the first 39 games of the 2024 season are as follows: 19.5 points, 8 points, 8.4 assists, and 5.7 rebounds. Clark's leadership has almost certainly ensured that the Fever will be able to qualify for the playoffs, and she is most likely to be awarded the Rookie of the Year award. On the other hand, Clark has taken the award competition very seriously, putting an emphasis on the fact that winning basketball games is the primary concern. After a performance in which he scored 31 points and dished out 12 assists in the Fever's victory over the Chicago Sky on August 30th, Clark stated that everyone can write that, but our primary focus is on winning basketball games. That is the simplest explanation. When we were in college, we experienced the same thing at the same time. Regardless of the circumstances, if you are playing basketball for the sake of winning individual prizes, you are doing something wrong. Despite the fact that Caitlyn Clark is currently running out of records to break, it will be exciting to watch her progress throughout the course of a successful first season debut. At Gainbridge Fieldhouse on Sunday afternoon, Clark broke the record for the most points scored by a rookie in the history of the game. He scored 761 points and set a new career high of 35 points in a single game, surpassing Simone Augustus' previous mark. On the other hand, Clark was also given her sixth technical foul during the game that took place on Friday night against the Las Vegas Aces. Should Clark have been found guilty of her seventh offense, she would have been suspended for the season finale match against Washington on Thursday. Well, I didn't think they were going to give me a technical at any point tonight, Clark said after the victory. It was totally unexpected. I would have felt a great deal of sorrow for the people living in Washington, District of Columbia. Despite the fact that I didn't want to do that, it's pretty much over now. In spite of the fact that I no longer have to be concerned about it, I do not want to be receiving any technicals at all. Not only does my mother not want that for me, but I also do not want to have to pay any further fines. After 7 technical fouls, players are suspended for 1 game. However, this rule is no longer enforced during the playoffs. According to Caitlyn Clark, I'm finished with that. The playmaker for the Fever made a drive to the basket before the end of the second quarter, but she was unable to finish the layup. As a result, the defender Natasha Howard landed on top of her baseline. The fact that Clark was called for a foul and that it appeared as though her momentum brought Howard down was a consequence. As soon as Aaliyah Boston arrived, she was tasked with directing Clark away from the referees. Following her substitution, she banged the table that was used to keep score. In the middle of the fourth quarter, Clark made 2 consecutive runs to the hoop, during which he scored both of his points. As a result, the Fever reached 90 and 86. A timeout was called by the Wings. Nevertheless, she positioned herself at the middle of the court and raised both arms toward the referee. A member of the team named Katie Lou Samuelson eventually made her way over to Clark and took a position in front of her. Clark went on to say that his teammates are doing an excellent job doing that. They admire my sense of humor. It is humorous in their eyes. Aaliyah is the one who winds up with a technical, and subsequently she is defeated. That is my favorite aspect of the whole thing. The person who is watching over me is she. Still, I believe that I did a better job. I was nonetheless of the opinion that there were a few instances in which I could have managed to do a little bit better. This is the first season since 2015 that the Fever have won 20 games. Mitchell highlighted that it is a significant matter. I have never been able to do something of that magnitude on my own. Therefore, I would like to give my congratulations to our team and to the season as a whole. To this point, I am saying this because I am looking forward to what I hope will be a really terrific run for us in the playoffs. I am thrilled with the 20 victories. I am appreciative. Not only do I know where I began, but I also know where I am right now. We were able to get folks to come forward when their number was called. Mitchell went on to say that the playoffs are likely to feel exactly the same way. In the summer, Damiris Dantas, a backup forward who spreads the floor, joined the Fever. On Sunday, she had one of the best performances of the season, which was one of the reasons why she was selected for the team. Dantas blasted back-to-back three-pointers to put the Fever ahead 106-98 with 66 seconds left. And to think that Indiana came so close to winning 1-101 or 109, it was after Caitlyn Clark made her sixth three-pointer to reach 32 points and Mitchell made her sixth three-pointer to achieve 30 points. When the three All-Stars for Indiana score 80 of the team's 110 points, and when the bench and other starters, such as Nalisa Smith, contribute 30 points, this playoff squad becomes a threat offensively in the first round of the playoffs. A total of 109 points were allowed by their defense. Despite the fact that offense and defense are not yet completely mastered, Sunday's victory was extremely important as the playoffs drew near. During their most recent 4 home games, the Fever had suffered 3 defeats at the hands of the second and fourth best clubs. Despite the fact that this did not offer any room for optimism regarding the playoffs, which will begin on September 22nd, Fever fans were overjoyed on Sunday since they broke the record for the most people ever to attend a game in 2024. After they had achieved victory, the players signed miniature basketballs and then threw them into the competition. Because of the way the playoffs are structured, it is possible that the Fever's home game on Sunday will be their final one, unless, of course, they are able to circumvent all of their obstacles this year and bring Game 3 to this location. Do you have any thoughts? Would it be possible for the Fever to make a splash during the playoffs? Or does this new and improved Indiana Fever have a lot of work to do before they can expect to be successful in the postseason? Post your opinions in the comments section below, and I will get back to you.